Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to take a closer look at the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat penny, specifically in bad condition. While this coin may not look like much at first glance, it carries a piece of American history and still holds a place in the hearts of collectors and enthusiasts across the country. Even if your penny is scratched, faded, or heavily worn, there's still value in understanding what it is, where it came from, and what it might be worth today. The 1957-D penny was minted at the Denver Mint, as shown by the small D located just below the date on the obverse side of the coin. The design features the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln, which first appeared on U.S. 1-cent coins in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait has become one of the most iconic images in American coinage. On the reverse, the coin features two wheat stalks curving along the sides of the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the Latin phrase "e pluribus unum" above. This reverse design, known as the wheat reverse or wheat ears design, was used from 1909 until 1958, making the 1957-D one of the final issues before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. In terms of production numbers, the 1957-D is anything but rare. Over 1 billion of these coins were struck, specifically 1,051,342,000 pieces were minted at the Denver facility. That high mintage means that many of these coins remain in existence today, often found in coin jars, old drawers, and change rolls. Because of how many were produced, a 1957-D penny in poor or bad condition is relatively common and doesn't hold a high premium. Most of them have passed through countless hands, vending machines, and store counters over the decades, which has naturally resulted in heavy wear and tear. When we talk about bad condition, we're referring to coins that are heavily circulated. Those with worn-down features, scratches, discoloration, corrosion, and faded or flattened details. In this state, the coin's condition is typically graded between good G-4 and fine F-12 on the coin grading scale. In this condition, a 1957-D penny usually holds a value of just 2 to 4 cents. That's right, just slightly above its face value. Dealers often sell these pennies in bulk, sometimes offering rolls or bags of hundreds of circulated wheat pennies at a few cents each. So, if your 1957-D looks rough, it probably won't fetch more than a few pennies unless it has something special about it. That being said, even worn examples can still be worth a second look. There are a few varieties and error types associated with the 1957-D that can increase a coin's value significantly, even in lower grades. One thing to look for is a doubled die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck twice slightly offset, creating a doubling effect that is visible on the date or lettering. Though not common for 1957-D pennies, doubled dies are always worth checking for with a magnifier. Another possibility is a repunched mint mark, or RPM. This occurs when the D mint mark was stamped more than once in slightly different positions. These are minor varieties, but collectors enjoy finding them, and they can sell for several dollars even in circulated grades. You should also be on the lookout for off-center strikes, die cracks, or lamination errors. These minting mistakes can turn an otherwise average coin into something collectible. For example, an off-center 1957-D penny, where a significant portion of the design is missing from one edge due to misalignment, could fetch between $10 to $50, depending on how dramatic the error is. So, before tossing your old penny into a change jar or giving it away, take a moment to examine it carefully. You never know what you might have. Even if your coin doesn't have an error or variety, there's still a reason to hold on to it. The 1957 D wheat penny represents one of the final years of a design that ran for nearly 50 years. It's a symbol of mid-20th century America, produced during the Eisenhower presidency and in a time of both economic growth and Cold War tension. These coins have become a great entry point for young or beginner collectors. They're affordable, easy to find, and rich with history. Some people collect them by year and mint mark, building full sets of wheat pennies from 1909 to 1958. Even a well-worn 1957 D can help complete one of these classic sets. So while a heavily worn 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny might not make you rich, it still carries value, not just in cents, but in the story it tells. It connects us to a different era, when pennies were made of 95% copper and filled with meaning. Whether you keep it for your collection, pass it on to a new collector, or just appreciate it for what it is, this little coin is more than just pocket change. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below telling us what condition your 1957 D penny is in. We'll see you next time with more coin history, collecting tips, and hidden treasures from everyday change.